Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Before we get started here, take a second to like this video and subscribe if you are a fan of wrestling and you want to see future videos of us talking about anything wrestling. We have a goal to get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of this calendar year. So every little like, comment, and subscribe goes a long way. So we do appreciate it. But let's just dive right in. The World Championships is this weekend, starting in
Oh yeah, baby.
4
Let's go.
days. We're going to do a little preview of Team USA because we're US based. I think most of the people who watch this channel are US based, but we're going to talk about the top contenders, and we'll get started with the women's. So starting at 50 kilos, Sarah Hildebrandt for Team USA. She got a good seed. She has the 2 seed. And for those who don't know, she was a 2020 Olympic bronze medalist, world silver medalist, 22 bronze medalist, 7-time Pan Am champion, uh, highly touted resume. The 1 seed goes to Sasuke of Japan. Pardon any incorrect pronunciations. We struggle with that for the U.S.
Yeah, for
names.
domestic names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the international ones are a little bit tougher. But Sasaki, she is the reigning Olympic gold medalist. And if you know anything about women's wrestling, it's that Japan is the powerhouse team. They are the Penn State, if you will, of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Not the Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hildebrandt has a good seed, but I mean, I think she'll have no problem getting herself to the semis. But in the semis, she's got someone that she's lost to at the Worlds before in Dolgurajev of Mongolia, who was the world silver medalist last year. Um, she beat Hildebrandt 6-2, so she's gonna have to avenge that loss just to get into the finals. I think Hildebrandt's probably a shoe-in for bronze, but uh, we'll see if she can pull it off in making to the finals. And then even if she does get to the finals, then she's got Susaki, who has been pretty dominant at this weight. You know, she's had 3 world golds and an Olympic gold. So that's Susaki's definitely the woman to beat at the weight, and Hildebrandt's got to avenge a loss just to get to her. So that's not an easy path, but I think she should medal for sure.
Sarah Hildebrandt. So comes from a pretty big wrestling family. Her older sister wrestles. Her younger brother was a big wrestler, multi-time All-American, one-time All-American, I believe, and never an All-American for Penn State, unfortunately. But Hildebrandt, just like Mike was saying, I love her chances to medal. I almost looking at the bracket so far, or not the bracket, but the entries. I really don't see a situation where she doesn't medal. Obviously, anything can happen in wrestling, but she's definitely in the top three and has a very good shot at medaling. Um, like Mike was saying, making the finals is going to be tough. And then assuming she does make the finals, it's a very uphill battle. So Sasaki from Japan, as Mike found during his research, she's never not taken gold in any international competition.
Right, yeah.
So that's tough record to go against.
Yeah,
But
she's Kale.
yeah. But I was telling them off camera is in February of this year, Sarah Hildebrandt, Yui Sasaki, and Helen Morales all were training partners together, and kind of iron sharpening iron situation. And you got to wonder how much Sarah Hildebrandt learned and or improved, training with someone that she'll probably end up hopefully seeing in the world finals. If she'd gotten a chance to be like, okay, I've seen how my teammate can wrestle with her, and just by watching and learning, and then even just by getting hands on her more frequently, she could say, okay, I have to avoid, XYZ thing, or I should really go after XYZ thing.
I think a medal is definitely in Team USA's future at this weight.
I'm predicting a silver,
Yeah,
but hopefully for gold.
there should definitely be a lock of a medal at 50 kilograms.
Yeah, I think it's between silver and bronze. I think gold would be great, but it's definitely a lofty goal.
So moving up to 53 kilos, Dom Parrish for Team USA, 2022 world champion. She took 5th at this year's Pan Ams. So a little bit of a,
Yeah,
tough
that was an
performance
underwhelming
there.
performance for sure.
However, she's the 2 seed. However, she has teched the number 1 seed, Yepes Guzman of Ecuador, 10-0 at the 2022 Worlds. She also beat Privo Laraki 3-1 at last year's World Champions, who is the 4 seed from Greece. So this is someone who has taken out 2 of the top 4 ranked people. She'll have to get through Malmgren, Sweden, who was a 2023 Euro champion. But I'm liking the odds here for Dom Parrish.
Well, the one hiccup for Dom Parrish is at Pan Am's this year. She lost to the 7 seed, so that's likely her quarterfinal matchup. And she lost 4-2 to Costa Martinez of Mexico. So, I mean, that's a close match. It's something that could definitely be reversed, especially when she's got plenty of time to prepare, especially since when the seeds came out. Now she's had at least a couple weeks to kind of look at that match and make adjustments. So ideally, she'll be able to get herself to the semifinals, where it'll most likely be Malmgren, the 2-time Euro champ, and who was a round away from medaling at the Worlds that she won, that Parrish won. So I'd like to think Parrish could repeat. She definitely has the upside of that. But if she has a Pan Am repeat, then she might find herself not even on the podium.
Crazy to think that your hardest match might be the one in the quarters. Based on your past performances, at least.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, if she does make it to the finals, it does seem like she's got definitely odds are in her favor that she could beat Yepes Guzman or Privo Laraki in the finals, whichever one makes it there. So like, I mean, it looks good for her. Definitely. I mean, it's not an ideal path having that quarterfinal matchup, but we shall see how it all plays out.
So what are we saying? At least a medal for Winchester?
I think Parrish should definitely medal. I'd be shocked if she didn't medal at all. I mean, I was shocked at Pan Am's when she didn't medal. But I hopefully she learned from that and has made all the necessary adjustments. And she should at minimum be a medal, but she definitely could take gold.
I'm going to say she's going gold. I think that our Pan Am performance, men's and women's, across the board was underwhelming. And I think Team USA is a team that really learns from their mistakes and says, okay, well, I don't really care about Pan Ams. And I do, but I don't. And that's I feel like the Team USA approach where it's like, okay, that's cool, but like all that matters is Worlds and the Olympics. Like, you're seeing a lot of these guys do less and less ranking events because they're just like, I don't care about my seed. All that matters, if I'm going to win, I'm going to win regardless.
Right.
And I think a lot of these people, same thing like Dom Parrish, that was like, hey, like, my performance at Pan Am's isn't going to make or break that I've been, a world champ, won Pan Am's, been a world placer as well. Like, I don't think her taking 5th at Pan Am's is going to define her. Hopefully not. I think that she has a good chance to beat Guzman again, considering she teched her the first time. Guzman's a solid wrestler. I remember talking to her about a friend of mine who's Ecuadorian, who was like really hyped for their wrestling team, because if you follow Ecuador wrestling, they typically don't have like these incredible wrestlers. So it was really cool for him to see that they had not only a wrestler, but a female wrestler that was doing really well. That being said, I'm going to predict Dom Parrish for gold. I think this can go nuclear though, just like you guys are both saying, and she could not place completely, or she can get gold. I think that, whatever version of Dom Parrish shows up for this weekend is going to be the one that, decides her fate.
So there's a couple other things that I'd say like dark horse here. You got Fujinami of Japan, who's the 21 world champ, who's the 8 seed, who could probably knock off Yepes Guzman in the quarters, and then potentially knock off Prevo Laraki. And then you got Japan in the finals, which that would be an unexpected twist of events. I mean, not necessarily based on Japan's usual results. So I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Fujinami. But then there's also Bowler Tuya Bat Ochir, who is 2020 Olympic bronze, who is unseeded in this bracket. So whoever gets whoever gets them first round is in for a real tough match just to start out.
That's why they call it the World Championships.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
I'm going to be a broken record with this, but I really don't like the seeding criteria for Worlds.
Yeah, no, I feel like if you're the returning world champ, you should be like seated maybe number one. Like you're the returning from the previous year, you're number one. Why could you potentially not get seated? Like
Moving up to 55 kilos, Jakara Winchester for Team USA is the 2 seed as well. She was a 2019 world champion, took 5th a year ago. But still, she's still the number 2 seed, as solid as ever. I'm sure she's going to want to avenge that 5th place from last year. Looking at the bracket, it's not a super deep weight class.
yeah, no, none of the seeded wrestlers really have anything super.
Yeah, so it really could be up in the air, anyone's game. Number 1 seed is Canada's Godinez Gonzalez, who took bronze last year, and Winchester took 5th. So really could
they
go
didn't wrestle. They were on, I think, opposite sides of the bracket for that bronze medal match. So it wasn't even like Godinez Gonzalez beat her for this bronze. Although Winchester's the 2 seed, I think she's probably going to do at best a bronze. Even with this bracket looking the way it is, since her world title, she has not been able to like repeat that level of success that she's had. So, I mean, I'd love to see her make the world finals, but I feel like it's more likely that she'll be in that bronze medal match and hopefully we'll win it this time. I mean, she's always a solid competitor. She's always, right in the mix, but I haven't seen her be like quite as dominant since winning that world title 4 years ago.
Should be a nice weight class for USA to get a medal at least.
Hopefully.
Yeah, this, like you guys were saying, it's not a super deep weight. I'd like to see Jakara return to form as that world champ that, she had that great run. But it is nice to see that like the 1 seed isn't like a returning multi-time world champ.
Yes,
she's her biggest accomplishment is that she's a bronze medalist, and
that's winnable.
Yeah, I really think that. We'll see if anybody else can sneak in through there. Just looking at the brackets, there's a lot of like world 5ths, Asian, champ bronze, 2021 U23 world bronze. Like there's no one in there that's like super standing out right now.
Yeah, well, unless of course there's all the superstars are unseated.
Yeah, that could be.
Which that'd be wonderful, right?
Speaking of deep weight classes, 57 kilos is very deep. This is where Helen Maroulis, Team USA, will be wrestling and competing at. She is the number 2 seed as well. How about that? The first 4 weight classes, Team USA has a number 2 seed.
That's impressive. That's awesome to see.
You love to see the resurgence of women wrestling in the U.S., and Helen is really the poster child of it all. So Helen, 2016 Olympic gold, took bronze at the 2020 Olympics, 3-time world champion. However, she lost to a fellow competitor from Japan, Sakurai, in last year's World Championships, 3-0. Sakurai is the 3 seed. She was the 21 and 22 world champion, and she also won the Asian championships as well in 2022. But you got some other up-and-comers. I mean, I'm looking at this Poland wrestler, Isak. She was a 2022 world bronze medalist and a 21 U23 world gold medalist. So perhaps, Isak from Poland could be, someone to make some moves.
I mean, that's good. That could be a quarterfinal matchup with Sakurai there. And then, I mean, unfortunately for Helen, she's got like if she makes the semis, which she should, she's got Sakurai, who she's lost to. So I feel like for Helen, it's either she's going to get gold or she's going to get bronze. I feel like I don't think she'll make the finals and then lose. If she makes the finals, like that semifinal, I feel like is going to be the final. I think that's going to determine who the world champ is. It's going to be either Sakurai or Maroulis in that matchup.
I mean, you can't sleep on the Ukraine wrestler Akubaya, who was a world bronze medalist last year.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sleeping on her, but my money's on whoever wins between Maroulis and Sakurai is going to be the world champ.
It's crazy looking at like Helen's accomplishments, and then you realize like she's only like 31. Like I feel like she's been in wrestling for so long, and she's I think she's younger than Kyle Dake and David Taylor.
Yeah.
So she's accomplished so much in her time, and she's still really young, recently into her 30s. I kind of agree. I think that her semis could probably end up being like the final. Japan's tough. Japan's really tough.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if they're having the best camp. They weren't. They were a little underwhelming at cadets this year, or juniors, I guess people call them now. Like Japan didn't. I think they took third, and like it was like India, USA, Japan was like the women's rankings, and I was kind of surprised by that. I'd have to go back and check it, but I just remember like watching, and I was like, they're not as dominant as they've been in years past. I wonder if there's something going on with the Team Japan camp. Hopefully there is maybe not nothing bad, but hopefully
hopefully it's all going wrong.
Hopefully Helen can just keep getting pushed and make a good finals run and win another world title and really add to her amazing career so far.
So as we move up to 59 kilos, Jen Page, this is where Team USA has their first. I mean, she's seeded 8th, but that's a big dip from the first 4 wrestlers. Jen Page of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. We all know how impressive that room is that she's training with day in and day out. But it's going to be, an eye opener for her first world slot.
I feel like one thing that's in her favor is that she's coming down from 62 kilograms and is wrestling 59 here. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of like international accolades because I mean, most of the time she's been wrestling at 62. But I mean, she's seeded 8th, so that means she's got the top seed, the world, like you said, the returning world bronze medalist from last year from Poland, Rizian. So I don't know what to expect out of Paige. I kind of think that she's gonna probably find her way to the podium. I don't know if she's gonna be on the upset train here and knock off the 1 seed and then get her way into the finals to get that medal, or she's not gonna get through that match, but then that they get to the finals and then she works her way to bronze. But I think she definitely has the potential to do it. I think she'll get a medal.
I'm a big Nittany Lion Wrestling Club fan. I think that they prepare their guys and gals really well. I feel like everyone kind of thinks that. Another thing too, that there's no like returning champ in this weight class. So like the 2 seed is by far the best wrestling returner, and she was a world bronze and only once. I think that just like you guys were saying, Jen Page coming down should be a huge help for her. She's kind of worked the domestic scene. 8 seed will be interesting. Like you guys said, obviously she's starting off with the 1. I could see her finding her way to the podium. She might have to get a little help from like the repechage, which I'm also not a huge fan of. I wish guys could just go to a loser's bracket and then just wrestle back that way, not be like, well, I lost to this guy and he also lost, so now we're both eliminated instead of me.
Yeah, you got to lose to someone that made the finals.
Yeah, so not a huge fan of that system, but hey, it's not my world.
It's not your world.
Not your world.
But I'd like to see her as at least a bronze. I think that that seems fair. But again, like what we talked about earlier, like the seeds are kind of suspect, not in this situation specifically, just in general. So you really don't know who's hiding out, and not anyone below 8.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone that's
Sure.
unseeded, yeah, could be who knows.
Yeah.
Well, 62 kilos is a weight that USA should definitely see a medal from. Kayla Miracle is the 1 seed. However,
Oh,
she took a bronze this year at the Pan Ams. And
And that was a little underwhelming as well.
yeah, a little underwhelming. And she lost to Godinez Gonzalez of Canada, who's the 4 seed. Or I
yeah.
don't know if she lost to her, but Godinez Gonzalez took gold at the Pan Ams this year.
No, yeah, I don't think she lost to Godinez Gonzalez. She's wrestled Godinez Gonzalez before and beaten her, but I don't think that they wrestled at Pan Am's.
Right. So, a recent loss from Kayla. Hopefully, she can bounce back and bring her A game for Worlds. I'd love to see her up on top. She never won gold at Worlds before. Won a couple of silvers back in 21 and 22. So, uh, I think this is the year. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I think she'll definitely be finding her way back to the finals. I don't think she's going to have too much of an issue doing that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure she's beaten Godinez Gonzalez before, who would be her semifinals match. And then the finals, she's going to either have, a two-time world champ from 19 and 21 from Kyrgyzstan, or China's returning world bronze medalist. I think it's definitely gold is definitely within reach. She could definitely pull it off. I hope she finally does. I feel like she's slowly been building. Like, I think she's just been gradually inching closer to that world gold, and I think this is the year she finally gets it done.
I would love to see Kayla Miracle finally get a gold medal. I feel like she's been so close so often. You know, back to back world finals and just not being able to push through to that gold medal spot. Um,
Yeah.
I like where she's at in the bracket. I like her odds. Again, the Pan Am performance wasn't great, but I'm not taking too much stock in it. It's kind of a hypocritical. Like if we win Pan Ams, I'm like, oh, we're the best. But if we don't win, I'm like, who cares? It's Pan Ams. I guess potential finals match. It could be two-time world champs, nothing to scoff at, and that's assuming they both make the finals.
Yeah.
But she's got quite the hit list. Two-time world champ. 2017 she took bronze. 2020 she took silver at the Olympics. I mean, that's pretty good hit list. She beat a lot of good people, but I think it's Helen's turn.
Miracles.
Kayla Miracle.
Yeah.
It's Helen's turn too. I keep messing up. I don't know why. I was just
You got Helen on the mind.
I was just reading something about her. That's why, like earlier.
But yeah, you're right.
If
It's
Mike had
Kayla.
it, his roster would have Helen at every weight class.
I'd have a middle lore everywhere, and then Helen at like one other weight.
Moving up to 65 kilos, Macy Kilty, unseeded. And you know what that means. When you're unseeded, you have nothing to lose. You got to throw it all out there. You are the bracket buster, the disruptor. She beat Velty for the spot for Team USA. And Velty was a 22 world bronze medalist. So not an easy win by any means. So Kilty could definitely be a saboteur in this weight class.
I mean, I think Velty probably would have been seated had she won the spot. And for some reason, I don't know why this weight class, there's only 6 seated compared to the normal 8. There was only like this one and maybe one other that were like this. Bizarre to me that that's the case. But Kilty's moving up from 62 kilograms to 65. Clearly having some success having beaten Velty. But she does have, I mean, it's not like a superstar weight class here. You got 5th in the world, is the 1 seed who lost to Velty. So, I mean, she beat Velty. So, I mean, that's the top seeded woman. I mean, and then you got 7th at the Euros this year, Euro Championships. You got Pan Am bronze. Like, this is far from the deepest weight class, which is very likely why it's got less seeds. So Kilty definitely could do what Velty did and find herself on the podium with bronze or maybe better, especially if Velty has a win over the top seeded woman at this weight.
I'm hoping to see Macy Kilty make the make the podium. Like you guys were saying, having no real accolades is tough. But this is really not a deep weight. I mean, you were just going over it and continue to look at it like, I think the 4 seed, her best accomplishment was that she took 11th in the 2019 Worlds.
So she won like a match.
Yeah. So
maybe.
Kilty beating Velty
that made the finals.
Kilty beating Velty is her biggest win, but it might be the biggest accolade out of this entire list.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone else there has done it. I mean, the 1 seed, like you said, lost to Velty.
Yep.
So, I think the odds should be in Kilty's favor. Her Twitter tag is Mace the Great. So it's time to live up to it.
Yeah, hopefully she's got the world team spot. So excited to see what she does with it.
Another unranked Team USA member for 68 kilos is Emma Bruntiel. She beat out Forrest Molinari, who was a 2021 world bronze medalist. Unfortunately for her, though, this is a little bit of a tougher weight class.
Yeah.
You have just standing out, Ishii of Japan was a silver medalist at the Worlds a year ago. The number 1 seed took 5th. Zhao from China at last year's Worlds. You have a world champion, Ringasi, from
Moldova.
From Moldova in 2021. So there's some definite heavy hitters in this.
Yeah, well, and then I mean, even the 4 seed's a 3-time world medalist.
That's Larocque of France. So
yeah,
it's going to be an uphill battle for Emma Bruntiel. Good for her for making the spot.
Well,
love to see.
And also the 8 seed is the Olympic silver medalist. Like, and the 7 seed's Olympic bronze medalist. So like every one of these seeded women at this weight are like solid. Like if Tamira didn't retire and join the WWE, I'd be saying she's gonna win a world title without like breaking a sweat. Bruntill, I mean, she's got definitely an uphill battle here. I mean, she is gritty. She is tough. I mean, she had to beat out Molinari for the spot. So I think her ceiling, though, at this Worlds, especially since it's her first World Championship, I think the best she's going to pull off is a bronze or get to that bronze medal match. I don't know that she'll actually pull that off. I really hope she does. I love watching her compete because she always puts, a lot of tenacity into her matches. So it's just she's got a much deeper weight. If she was at 65 kilograms, which she originally tried to make the team for, but I think she lost to Kilty. I'd say she'd have a much better chance of medaling, but at 68, it's going to be tough.
I think that one thing to remember is, Bruntiel is so young. So she's like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
Tamara Mensah-Stock, who I loved, was like is like 30, 31 now. So she's got some age and some years of experience on her. And for being the multi-time world champ that she was and Olympic gold medalist that she was, it didn't happen when she was 22, 23.
Yeah.
So I think Bruntiel is facing this uphill battle like you guys talked about. I think placing is going to be really tough, but I think this is going to be great experience for her to say, hey, like, what do I need to do to get to that next level at Worlds? I'm not saying
she finally broke through and got the world team.
Yeah, so. For sure. I'm not saying she won't place. I'm just saying it'll be very, very tough. And I wouldn't be surprised to not see her on the podium.
No, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if she like went 0 for 1 or 1-1 or something. But I mean, it's a tough weight. And she's also, since she went out for the team at 65, she's not even at her normal weight class.
Yeah, she's a little girl. Um, beating Forrest was huge. Forrest, I think, is one of the grittiest female wrestlers out there. She's just Iowa tough. Um, and that was a huge win. Like you guys talked about, she was a bronze
And it's
medalist.
2 wins too. She beat her
Yeah,
twice.
she blanked her. She beat her. 2 out of 2.
No, it was two
Um,
out of three. She lost the
oh yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, no, just looking at some of the accomplishments of some of these other ladies, like it's not an easy weight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'd like to see Bruntiel win a match or two. I
Yeah.
think in my mind, that'd be a really great tournament for her. But if that doesn't go her way, like she should just be proud that she's making these jumps. Again as a younger wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of a younger wrestler, we have Amit Alor, who is at the 72 kilos for Team USA,
A rightful
and
2 seed.
she's the 2 seed. And I mean, I think she's pretty much going to dominate this weight class.
Well, yeah, she hit the Triple Crown last year.
She's going for it again, baby.
Yeah, she won the Junior World, the U23 World, and the Senior World last year, and she already got the Junior World.
Yeah, she already got juniors done. And
So if she gets it done, Senior Worlds, then she's just got to go get a U23 World, and that's 6-time world champ in 2 years.
watching her at the junior worlds was like insane. I had never. She looked so lackadaisical.
Oh,
Like it really made me think of like when an adult wrestles like with his like young son at youth wrestling.
right.
Like she was just like, whatever. Like, and almost like every girl that went up against her, like already went on the match knowing like I'm gonna lose this and I'm gonna get tacked.
Right,
Like
right.
I remember like she just so easily was like moving girls around where I'm like, man, it looks like she's just like not even trying. She's just that good. And I wouldn't be I'm not going to say she's going to tech her way through senior worlds because she didn't do it last year. She did have a
Right.
bit of a gritty match in the semis last year, but she ended up teching her way in the finals. Um, but man, is
Her
this girl
finals
good?
match is probably going to be the same from last year, too.
Probably, yeah.
It's
But
crazy
man,
that she only has the 2 seed.
yeah. Well, again,
Well, that's
not a big
the
fan.
weird seating.
Yep. Not a big fan of that seating. But hey, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Um, this girl is amazing. She's just like Jack said, like, I'm talking about Emma Bruntiel being a young wrestler, and it's great to see her, make the world team and whatnot. But Allure she's 19 this year, and she's going for her 4th world title.
Right, yeah, she's younger, and
I
yeah,
mean, she has the potential to be the greatest, not just female wrestler, but the greatest USA wrestler, and possibly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time ever.
right, yeah.
Um, you know, we talked about, you know, Morales, Miracle, like some of these girls that have been competing on Team USA for a long time, into their 30s now. She's 19. Imagine 11 more years of winning, possibly multiple another.
Well, and when Maroulis won her Olympic gold, wasn't it over like a 12-time
Yeah,
world and Olympic
it
champion or
was over the
15
greatest,
time from Japan?
the greatest women's wrestler. Actually, honestly, the greatest freestyle wrestler of all time.
Yeah, like yeah, she beat the greatest wrestler ever.
Mm-hmm.
So like Allure's on the path to become
Yeah,
her or better.
I know it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so cool. I mean, it's just like to be living through history like this.
Yeah.
I predict Allure, by the way, winning if I didn't
Yeah,
say.
no, in my mind, there's no way she doesn't get the goal.
She's too locked in. She's too focused. She's just.
Yeah, exactly.
I would hate to be someone wrestling her at U23s in a few weeks though, where she's like, oh, she just won her 5th world title, and now she's coming to back down to an easier level to
Yeah.
wrestle.
Coming back down from the senior worlds. Jeez.
Crazy. Well, our last women's weight class, 76 kilos, a wild card in this one, Adeline Gray. She recently had twins, right? Twins?
Yeah, that was last
She
year.
recently had twins last year, and she is back in action. Been wrestling. She's been on the upward trajectory, I'd say, this year. We all know her accolades. what, 6-time, 7-time world
Yeah,
champion.
six-time world champ.
But she's unseeded in this world championships. So I would hate to be the person that gets her first round who has a
Right.
higher
Yeah.
seed.
Could you imagine that Hamza, the 1 seed, got her in the first round? Like, that'd be wild. Like, because Hamza's returning world silver medalist. So, like, world silver medalist gets Adeline Gray in the first round. Uh
Well, we also have a lot of world bronze medalists in this weight class. Kagami of Japan, Medet of Kazakhstan. Both have bronzes in their careers. So hopefully Adeline can do what she's done her entire career and find her way back on the podium.
I'm I think it's definitely within reason, especially the way that within like so she reversed. No, it wasn't reversed. Well, yeah, she reversed the loss against Kennedy Blades within a month, and she went from being teched to beating her in 2 straight matches.
Yeah.
Like, and like she was like even from behind. Like Blades had
Those are
leads,
come from
and then
behind,
just
yeah.
she broke Blades twice. Blades was proving to be like technically speaking the better wrestler, and Gray was the seasoned veteran who knew how to win a match instead of just get to that early lead. So I think Gray is 100% going to make the podium. I think she might even go for that 7th world title.
Talk about
Put Jordan
best
Burroughs,
wrestlers ever.
put Jordan Burroughs on notice. Be like, getting that extra gold. So I think it's definitely possible. I'm pretty sure she's actually beaten Hamza before.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere that she had beaten Hamza. So, and that's the number 1 seed who's the returning world silver medalist. So like, she's right there in the mix. Like if she was seeded, it'd be like, well, it's like obviously it's Adeline Gray.
So there you guys have it. That is our recap for the 2023 Women's World Championships coming in just a few days. Comment down below. What are your predictions? What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? And like always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future Cactus videos. And go Team USA.
Yeah, baby. Let's go Team USA.
USA.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.